Oh, that's funny. I went in there, she's taking a nap. I told her not to go to bed, not to take a nap until I showed her this. I had to wake her up. And can you believe she picked this first? And I said, hey, well, before you looked at the box and you said you wanted that color. You sure you don't want this color? And then she goes, okay, that color. I think this is actually the better color of the two anyway. Just because it's going to blend in better. But hey, if you don't have a choice, you know, the dark one would work too. The only other dark thing that's in this bedroom is the TV. And well, actually, this chair is kind of dark. This is kind of dark, but you know, I think overall that one's going to be a good one. And I went and I turned the breaker off. Of course, I remembered which breaker. If you don't remember on the breakers, you'll have to mark. You can mark it, and the green light is off. Okay, so I know the power is off to here. Okay, and as I told you before, I was going to get some white caulking. I was going to put up around that box, and look at that. I forgot to do that, and I think I have some in the garage, and I may have to do that before I get up in there. First things first is I'm going to unpackage everything out of this box and kind of get my bearings and see, just kind of look at everything. Now these ceiling fans, you know, most ceiling fans are created kind of equal. Have I ever installed this particular ceiling fan before? No, I haven't. Do I feel concerned that I can't do it? No, I don't. I'm sure I can figure it out. And look at that. Okay, that's probably for the light kit. And this looks like for the light kit, plus there's a, oh, that's the trim, the canopy trim. And then here's the mounting bracket. Okay, this one looks a little different. This is all attached up there, and I'm gonna have to push this all the way up. All right, slightly different than what I've seen before. Okay. And I've got my light. Oh, that one's flat. Okay. My trim cover, and on this, I'm not sure just yet if when the ceiling fan blades go on. I'm gonna pull this whole thing out of here. I have a feeling this one, the blades might go on last, or after I put the whole motor housing on. I'm trying to hold the box and pull this out. Okay. Because that was just a styrofoam. Because if the blades go on later, I'll just leave it in here. That'll help protect this from flopping around and letting me put my extension rod on there and all that. Okay, so now I'll just kind of pull things out, because I know there's a bag. There's got to be a bag here somewhere for the screws, for the ceiling fan blades. I believe they're right here. Okay. And some washers for that, my wire nuts, and stuff. Okay. And most important, you know, it's going to come with the page. It'll tell you on here what type of wall switch, if you're going to use a wall switch, what type is acceptable, what type is not acceptable. Okay. And the directions, am I going to read the directions? Absolutely, you bet your dollar I'm going to read the directions. So I'm going to get familiar with this. Okay, I always would encourage you to read the directions because like I said, every ceiling fan is slightly different than the next. Okay, so read those directions, get a game plan, and we'll start in a minute. Can you believe that? I got 1 minute left on my SIM card of this whole thing. I thought I'd had plenty of time, but hey, if I can do it, you can do it. Remember that.